right, thanks for downloading the template. I'm going to take you through how I would edit this so you can customize it to make it however fits your needs. I'm going to take you through the way I go through these edits, so it won't be layer by layer, but as I come across things, I'll tell you how to change them and how to customize them. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in the full name here, so I'm going to double click here, Command V, paste it in. Sometimes the formatting changes here and there's not the space, so just keep an eye out for that. And then next I'm going to put in the last name where I put this right here. So I'm going to double click here and then double click here, paste it in. And so this had the whole name, so then I just delete out the first name. And what I do is this is just clipped on top of this. So if you unclip it, you'll see the whole thing. And then from here, you can change the hue, saturation, anything to change the color of it if you want. Usually I'm working either with gold or silver, so and you can toggle between those by just hitting the I right here. If a name is larger, then you'll have to shrink down the name to fit in between these the margins here. So you hit Command S to save it. This is a smart object, so you can tell it'll take a few seconds depending on your computer to save, but it will end up saving us some time and headache later by doing this as a smart object, and I'll show you here in a second. So we can close out of this. And so that last name here is also up the side here, kind of just faded in here. If you don't like that and you just want to put the text in here, you can obviously go a lot faster by just bringing that text out here and changing it out, but I kind of like this subtle name going up the side too. But if you want to turn that off down here on that layer, you can. So now I have the name in here, now to drop in the logo. So logo on the sidebar, this is a smart object. So we're going to double click on the icon there. I'm going to drag in their logo. Delete this one out. And this would be a good time too if you want to grab this color so you know what their color is. So you're going to save that image. That will save quickly. That updates back here. This does have blending on it. So you can kind of tell here how much it's blending in with the background. So depending on how dark or light your logo is, you might want to adjust these to get the look you want. But that's how you do it. So the logo's in. The next thing I'm going to do is get these texture items here on the side. So I'm going to double click, and right now it's silver and I want to go red. So you can do a couple things. We can change the hue and saturation like we did on the name if you want to change it. So you can kind of drag the saturation of the red. If you want to change the color, you slide this bar up here. And I have the red down here kind of as a visual of what we're trying to get at. It doesn't have to be perfect because it'll be blending in anyway. You can do that, or if you wanted to just get a shape like this, put it over, and change the blending mode down here to get it to blend in. Either color, or there's different ways you can do it. That's another way to do it, but usually I just do that. Command S to save it. Close that, and this will update both of these. So now we have the colors here, the logo, the name in. Now we just need to get the photos. So the first one I'm going to do is this back image. So I'm going to click on back image, this smart object, open it up. Let me drag in the back image from over here. And I have these markers on here. If you don't see your guides, Command semicolon shows and hides them. And so I normally just try to line up the center and then the head just so I have consistency throughout. So I can delete that one out, save it, close out of there, and then it updates it there in the back. This has a couple smart filters on it. It's got a curves and mostly clarity, but you can kind of toggle those on and off. But however you took the photos, you can adjust that and then save that on your one, and then next time you import a photo, that should save, and then you don't have to do it every time. Okay, so there's the front, or the back. Now I'll drag in the front, right on top. I also have these guides up here too, kind of get the same spot every time. So since I just drug that in, I didn't put it in the smart object, I'm going to pull this smart filter onto this, and how you do that is you hold Option, and then you're going to drag this smart filter and it'll copy it onto your layer. So as you can see, when you hit this down arrow, it's right here. So I'm going to delete out this main image, and then now we have that in there. The next thing we need to do is add the shadows. So I have the shadows down here. So you're going to create new layer, delete this one out, and I'll probably fast forward through this so I can do it real quick. Get your brush. And there you have it. That's how, if you'd go through quickly here, I'll go through the other layers briefly to show you what they are. So if there's something you don't like or you need to change, you can run into it. Start at the bottom. This is just some grain to go give it some texture on the background. This background image is something you might want to change out. If you double click on the smart object, you can open it up. And this is just a AI image I had generated of a construction site that just has lots of texture and clouds, and I just like it. But this could be a place where you could put in the maybe an aerial view of the school or something to do with the team, or if there's something you can tie in, you can do that here. Drop it in. But as you can see, there's a pretty strong blur and saturation on it, and also some blending. So it won't be real strong unless you change these out, but it kind of give you an idea if there's something else you want to put back there. Here's some more texture. Here's that vertical last name, on and off. So that'll update automatically as long as you edit through the smart object. But if you want to remove that, you can do it there. Some more texture, fill. Here's where the logo's at. We already did this. Background light, kind of just going behind the subject. Another texture. Your back image, we've already gone over that. I put a hue saturation on top of all this, and it just basically desaturates the skin a little bit. So if you wanted to do anything else with that, you can click here, and then you can alter any of those colors up there. This is the ground that they're standing on, so that it's kind of goes over the back image. We already did the shadow. The name shadow I put on here because depending on the jerseys, sometimes the name can be a little hard to read based on your color here. So I have this on here, so I put it on if I needed to make it easier to read. So that actually looks better right there. So I'm gonna leave that on. Just a grain texture.